Oh, we're at the Not Just Vintage shop again, and today, very exciting day for us. We have the world famous pen expert, Mr. Jim Marshall. Say hello to the folks, Jim.
Oh, hello. Nice to be on screen.
So, what we need to do first, Jim, is how did you sort of develop from what you were originally? So, tell us a little about your background. And then tell us how it changed to becoming involved with pens.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Well, I was born in 1940, and I met my father in 1946 because there was a war on. But we were camp followers, so I spent a lot of my time travelling with my mother. He was in the RAF and as a motor transport and engineer, and he was repairing various vehicles all over the world. But in 1944 he went across to Europe and didn't come back until 1946. So that's when I met him again. But
so he was an engineer, was he?
He was an engineer.
An engineer.
But
so that's where your interest.
Yeah.
In all things mechanical.
Yeah, and I think this was really the first thing that made me aware of working with my hands and doing things. But on the other side, my mother was very, very keen on the books and learning, and her mother had been a teacher, so it was natural that I was driven. We learned to.
So it actually started when you were young, the pens.
Oh yes.
Oh,
yes,
right.
yeah. Well,
I thought it was when you left work.
Well, with everybody had to be interested in pens.
Yeah.
Everybody had to be interested in pens because, that's what you learn to write with. The thing was that, they were scratchy and some of them were rusted as well. But I remember when you were given a new nib, one of the things to get it to work was that you always had to suck it so that it would actually, and that is normal because there was a fair amount of grease on these nibs, and you had to get it off before they wrote properly. I can't think of anybody who didn't have a fountain pen in 1950, and that was really the start of it, and most of us started with relatively cheap ones.
So that didn't become your profession straight away, did it?
Oh no.
So what did you actually do?
I went on to university from first to Sheffield, and I took a degree in chemistry, essentially colloid chemistry, which was I suppose it's more linked to things like soap, which is ultimately why I ended up in Port Sunlight working for Unilever.
Oh, nice, yeah.
But in the meantime, I went on to Imperial College. I did a PhD, and then I got married, and I went and emigrated. I emigrated to the US in 1964, at the end of 1964, with a green card as you got then.
So that was still working for Unilever, was it?
At that time I was working for Unilever, but in the US.
In the States,
yeah. Unfortunately, there was a war on in Vietnam and I got drafted.
Oh, right.
So
So did you go to Vietnam?
I didn't want to go to Vietnam.
No.
So, but I was transferred back to Port Sunlight.
Right.
And I was there for about 3 years, and it was a great time. And that was great. And then I got sent, of all places, to Brazil. So I went to Brazil. I had 3 years there. Then I went to Indonesia. Then I went to Ghana. And in the end, that was really my job. I spent 30 years working for Unilever.
So it's quite a broad spectrum, isn't it? You must have got a lot of experience.
Well, of countries, languages as well, and also it was you were learning about how good other people were at doing things.
Yeah.
So we set up a classic car business.
Oh,
It was very modest, but it was a classic car business that was really a question of dismantling old cars and taking bits off them. But it was, again, using your hands, knowing what,
putting them back together again.
what things were for, what did they function, how did they work. And I used to get, when I was really, I think I was about 12, and I used to wash all the parts in paraffin from the old cars. They benefit from really being friends